Om Shanti, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the third year of Yoga for the Mind. It's an initiative that we started 3 years ago with very kind guidance from BK Shivani, who's our guide and mentor, and she's here today with us. We started this celebration with a very simple thought, just like everything starts from the thought that how people end up looking at the physical aspect of yoga while they forget about what it can actually do for the mind. And not just strengthen yourself from within, but also those who are around you. Together, by practicing, raising our vibrations, we can actually have a very positive impact on each other also. And I feel like in today's world, when there's an influx of information, there is so much happening on social media, it becomes even more important for all of us to talk about and understand how yoga can benefit the mind. And of course, to talk about that, we have today Sister BK Shivani with us. She's been our guide, our mentor. She's been the light and power behind ThinkRight.me. And she's a leader of millions around the world. And when I say leader, she's the one who's guiding them. And she's been kind enough to give us some of her time today. Thank you, Didi. Welcome.
Om Shanti. Thank you so much, Jyoti.
So I'm just quickly letting everybody know. I know you want to ask Didi questions, but we'll get to it later. I will inform all of you once the chat box is open and you can start placing your questions there. For now, we'll just start with a simple discussion on how yoga and its benefits have a very positive impact on the mind as well.
Sure. Om Shanti. Once again, it's that time of the year where not just all over India, but all over the world, yoga is like a celebration now at this time of the year. It's like a festival where it's everywhere. Everyone seems to be not just talking about it, but understanding it better, practicing it, promising to continue doing it. So there's a lot of enthusiasm, and whenever there's enthusiasm, it's like a celebration. But important is to not just keep it as one of those things that we all talk and do during the month of June, but it comes as a reminder of not just what we have to do, but it's about who we have to be. So yoga is not just a doing, yoga is a being, which means it's a state in which we need to be. In Hindi, there are two words. One is yog and the other is bhog, for which we say a yogi jivan, a yogi lifestyle, or a bhogi jivan, or a bhogi lifestyle. So the word bhog means bhogana, which means suffering, where you are living life, you are crossing through every scene of your life, but it's more like a struggle. It's more like a struggle. It's just so difficult to cross every single day. And which means it's a lower vibrational lifestyle. It's a life where most of the time in my mind, I'm creating lower vibrational energy. And we know the list of emotions which are lower vibrational energy. So which is stress, anxiety, fear, worry, anger, hurt, criticism, lacking in something, feeling I am short of something, or people don't love me, or people don't care for me. So there's all a lot of lack in my life, or feeling rejected, feeling not wanted. So there's a whole spectrum of a list of emotions which are not the best of vibrations. So which we will say are lower vibrational energy. And the other is the higher vibrational energy, where it is divinity, purity, compassion, unity, acceptance, forgiveness, letting go. We know both these frequencies where they are. We know what are lower vibrational energies. We all know what are higher vibrational energies. Now it's all about where am I? Where am I in my mind most of the time of the day, on most of the days? Where am I? So, I know this is one range. I know there's another one range. I experience both. So all of us experience both. We experience the higher vibrational energy. We experience the lower vibrational energy. But I need to evaluate my life. Even if I see it just today, which means Saturday morning, from if I wake up at 4, 5, or 6, and up to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. If you just evaluate only this first half of the day and give yourself a percentage, you don't have to share that with anybody, but check that in this first half of the day, which is about 10 hours, let's say, in these 10 hours, where was I most of the time of the day? How was I being here? How was I feeling? Irrespective of what situations came in my life in these 10 hours, irrespective. So, another very important vibration about yoga or a divine vibration is yoga means being a master. When we say so and so is a yoga master, so it's not just actually being about a yoga master, but yoga makes you a master over yourself. Makes you a master over yourself, which means a master over your mind, intellect, the master over your sanskars. And if I do not practice that, then it's the opposite. I'm not a master, which means I'm a victim, which means I'm a slave, which means I say, I shouldn't have eaten this, but you know what? I couldn't stop myself. I shouldn't have said this, but it was a slip of the tongue. I know I shouldn't have heard all that. It was such a waste of time. Well, what to do? She kept talking about it, so I had to hear it. I shouldn't have watched that, but you know what? It was so addictive. So, all this vocabulary is saying that I'm not a master of my sense organs. I am not choosing how to use them. In fact, they are controlling me. They are doing things which I don't want to do. And I believe that they are doing it. So, this is again a lower vibrational way of living where my own sense organs, which means my own body, is not in my control. Is not in my control. This is the lowest vibrational energy. It's the lowest that I can go to, where my own mind is not in my control, where my own sense organs are not in my control, where sometimes forget my eyes, ears, mouth, sometimes my hand is not in my control. So this is where it starts getting lower and lower. Think about it. How many times you've apologized to people and said, I didn't mean to say it. So, what are we trying to say? That I didn't mean to say it, but I said it. So, what does that mean? Who said it then, if I didn't mean to say it? So, we can't get lower than this. So, it's time to pause and check, okay, how do I become a master over my life? For which I need to become a master over my mind, then a master over my sense organs, then a master over my life. So, I cannot continue living at a lower vibrational energy and call it normal. So the definition of normal is different. It's different for somebody who's living at a lower energy. That is their definition of normal. And if you start raising your vibration, your definition of normal will change. So, which means you will choose what to see, what to watch, what to read, what to eat, what to listen to, what to speak. You will choose consciously. And there will never be an element of I shouldn't have, I didn't want to, I could have avoided it. That element will never be there. So that's what makes you a master over your life, because it has to make you a master first over here, over your sense organs. So that is, so yoga is more than just health of the body, which we all already know, obviously. But yet sometimes day after day, we're just doing only the asanas and we say, okay, my body is healthy. And now, more than ever before, we realize however hard we try to keep the body healthy, with the best of diet, with the best of yoga asanas, exercise, whatever you choose to do, and yet we know that disease is not caused just because of what we eat, drink, and do. It's also caused because of how we think, feel, and speak and behave. So that's a part of lifestyle. So, and we've specifically seen it in this year. How often on panel discussions or news channels, whenever someone left their body at a very young age, cardiac arrest, suddenly, sudden death, and then there were all the doctors talking about why did this happen? And then the answer comes to stress. Stress means a general word for all our negative emotions. For all our negative emotions, we've put that as a label, a stressful life. So, which means if I, as an individual, was eating the best diet and I was doing my yoga, pranayama, or even exercise every single day, which is extremely beneficial for the body. But along with that, if I was not taking care of how I'm thinking, feeling, speaking, behaving, working, living, if I'm not taking care of all those things, then also I am accumulating negative energy in my body because it's negative emotions radiating as vibrations to the body. So if I take care only of my body, it's incomplete. It's incomplete way of looking after your health because a very predominant factor is what is radiating from here to here. So, yoga is not just taking care of how I exercise for the body, but it's also about how I am in control of my mind. How I am in my control of my mind. Like when you sit in a particular asana in yoga, the body becomes absolutely still, absolutely still. When we do pranayama, the breath absolutely in harmony. Similar experience we should also get in the mind. Also get in the mind that the mind is still. It is in harmony with me. It's not that it's going on jumping, thinking too much, thinking of that what I should not be thinking. So that is yoga of the mind. If I tell my mind to think only this thought and nothing else, then my mind should follow my instruction. It's not that I tell my mind, I want to work on this, and my mind jumps and goes home. And then when I'm sitting at home, my mind jumps and goes somewhere else. Then my mind is not in my control. If my mind keeps on thinking about something that someone said, and I'm like, enough, I don't want to think about this anymore. But my mind continues thinking about it. And I say, Bus, I'm tired, I don't want to think like this. But still it goes on and on. So then I have lost power. I've lost power over myself. And then it's incomplete to say, I'm taking care of my health because I'm not. And now, even before COVID, but then during COVID, but more I feel now post COVID. Post COVID, there's suddenly a lot of talk about mental health issues because there's been a sharp rise in anxiety attacks, panic attacks, especially after COVID. Though I still can't figure out what the reason could be for that. Maybe during those 2 years, many of us who were not utilizing the time to create a higher vibrational energy because of the situations, we created lower energy, lower vibrational energy, work, anxiety, lockdown, not being able to manage relationships stuck at home, or maybe COVID at home. Don't know, different situations for different people. But those who didn't take care of their mind created lower vibrational energy in those 2 years, the result of which is showing now, not just as an emotional disturbance, but shifting to talking about health, which is a mental health issue. So, again, if I am physically perfect, even if I'm physically perfect, healthy, but I'm emotionally and mentally not perfect, then again, I cannot call myself healthy. So, we have to heal ourselves as a package. We can't heal ourselves in parts. One, either I'm doing meditation and I'm taking care of my mind, but I'm ignoring my body, incomplete. Or I'm taking very good care of my body, but not taking care of my mind, incomplete again. So I have to take care of the whole package. Unless I do that, I will not experience health, but I will also not experience happiness. And if I don't experience happiness and health, it's difficult to experience harmony. It's difficult to experience harmony with people, with nature, with environment. It's difficult because unless I am in harmony with myself, it's difficult to be in harmony with somebody else. So each one of us would have experienced the day I am a little upset here or a disturbed here, that day I get very irritable with people. Suddenly, I can react for the smallest of things. And the day I'm very calm and stable here, I can let go the biggest mistake and I'm like, it's okay, never mind. Next time you take care of yourself. So it's very simple that if I am in harmony with myself, it becomes very easy to be in harmony with other people. But if I'm not in harmony with myself, it's a little difficult. It's difficult. And then, of course, the environment. The concern about protecting the environment, the planet, is rising every year, every year. And it's interesting how the Environment Day, the Yoga Day, everything comes around the same time in the month of June. And so, just a week before, we've all been talking about how to protect the environment. It's a very, very simple connection between the mind and the environment. What we want to protect from the environment is actually we want to protect the resources of the planet. We want to protect the resources of the planet. For us to protect the resources of the planet, the first thing that we need to shift to is to shift to leading a simple lifestyle. A simple lifestyle. Often we find people buying more than they need, and they're able to buy because they have the money for it. So if somebody says, but you don't need this thing, say, yeah, I don't need, but I can afford, so why should I not buy? Simple logic. If I can afford to buy, why should I not buy? I'm working so hard, I'm earning so much money. So usually we've gone into a vicious cycle. First, we don't take care of ourselves. We keep on working hard. If somebody says, don't work so hard, I have to have more money. And then you get more money. Then you don't know what to do with so much more money. So now you want to buy more stuff. And then when you buy more stuff, you are exploiting the planet. So when we say this line, I have enough money, I can afford to buy more. True, but just ask yourself, can the planet afford to give this to me? Can the planet afford to go on doing this for me? So every dress we buy, every shoe we buy, every bag we buy, every new tapestry we buy for the house every few years. Oh, now I'm bored. Now I feel like changing this. But nothing has happened to it. But I'm just bored looking at it without realizing that the next one which I buy, after a couple of months, I'm going to be bored looking at that also. But just that we want newness. So just to experience newness, we go on buying things. Now, actually, what the soul is looking for is actually newness here. We're looking for happiness and newness here. I need to feel better and higher and new. But I'm not feeling that. I'm going lower. So I keep on looking for newness outside. I'm bored of these clothes. So I want to buy more. Most of the time, we're just buying because we are bored of what we have. Or we are buying because other people are buying. These have become the two criteria of buying more stuff. If we were buying only for what we need and how much we need, half the wardrobe would get empty today. That's certain. You can do that on your checklist and see that when you go and next time buy something, is it because you need it? Or is it just because you feel like buying, because you're bored of what you have? So buying because I'm bored, or buying because everybody else has new stuff and I don't want to wear the same things and go, these are wrong criteria to buy something. This means I'm abusing the resources of the planet. And for every new dress that I buy, for every new object that I buy, how much water, how much electricity, and how much everything else. There's a whole science and statistics behind it. How much gets used? And then I wear that one t-shirt or that one dress, and after a couple of months, I say, okay, now enough. Now I'm bored of this also. So without realizing that, what am I doing? But I will not be able to be compassionate for the planet. Let the scientists and the healers keep coming and telling us enough about what's happening. We will not be able to create compassion for the planet because I'm at a lower vibrational energy. So if I'm not in harmony, I will not be in harmony with the planet. If you practice yoga for the mind, the first thing that you will experience is contentment. Contentment, because if you're at a higher vibrational energy, you're going to be contented. What does contented mean? Contented means the soul is like a battery full. battery full. And never ending desires means the soul is like battery. Sure. So how much ever I go on buying, the soul power is not going to increase, but I go on buying, thinking, I'll feel better, because I feel better for a few hours, few days, and then I'm back to my same old self. So again, the battery goes here. So you could have achieved everything that you wanted to achieve, but contentment is still on the list. It's still on the list because contentment is not dependent on what we achieve, what we buy. Contentment is who we are as a person. So when we practice daily meditation and yoga for the mind and for the body, but for the mind, then you will experience contentment. And when you experience contentment, it doesn't mean you're leaving the world, or you're leaving the, so-called materialistic comforts of the world. No, you are buying everything you need, you are using everything that you need, but the criteria is what you need. What you need. So you will buy because you need that. You will not buy because you are bored of what you have. Two criteria are very different. Very different. So, okay, this dress is now old, it's torn, now I need to buy a new one. Okay, fine. But I won't buy saying, oh, I'm bored, so I will buy. So automatically, you will become very caring and compassionate towards the resources of the planet and in harmony with the world, in harmony. One day we would have a lot of money, but the planet only won't afford giving us what we need. We should not reach a stage where we will not get what we need because we are buying things only because we are bored. So that's where we can land up, that we will not get even what we need because we abused it when we had more than what we needed. Because right now we are in a phase where we have more than what we needed. But that's how we live at home, no? How do we save the resources of the house? How do we save money at home? We don't spend all the money that we earn every month. We save it. We don't say, no, what we have, so let me finish it off. No, but we are finishing off the resources of the planet. So this is yoga. Yoga means connection. The word yoga comes from connection. So I, the soul, the first connection is mind, intellect, sanskar. Second yoga is with the body, the connection. The third yoga is with people, connection. My vibrational connect is with people, so my relationships. Fourth yoga and connection is with the environment. So when you're practicing yoga, you will automatically, you won't have to do it. It's not something that we have to do forcefully. It just automatically happens that you will shift to a simplistic lifestyle. You will shift to a simplistic lifestyle because your desires just start falling away. Like what is the desire of anything? Now, some people feel, oh, how boring that life is going to be. You have to experience it to see. You have to experience it to see how that life is, where you are the master of your life and you are not a victim of your desires controlling you and not happy when your desires are not fulfilled. So you have to experience that. That doesn't make life boring. It makes life completely in control. Completely in control. You're not running after your desires. You're not running after your desires. What actually has to come into your karmic life will actually come to you, which means it will follow you rather than you running after it. There is a very simple law of affirmations, because you'll all do affirmations and think, right? There's a very, very simple law about it. If you don't want something, it will come to you. If you don't want it, it's going to come to you on its own. But if you keep running after it, then you will keep running after it. Stop running after it and it will come to you. It's a very simple law. This is all spiritual laws which we have to experiment with. So it makes life simplistic, which today the world calls the minimalistic way of living. It just means simple lifestyle. So that's called a yogi life. So now once it's a simple lifestyle, you don't have to keep running after earning more and more. So everything is a cycle. So either the cycle is in this direction or the cycle is in that direction, where everything is in harmony, or it's a direction where everything is out of control. There's no midway, that some things are in control, some things are not in control. It won't happen because it's the seed. The soul is the seed, and then comes the body, and then the relationships, and then the work, and then the environment. So it can't be that something is healthy and the other thing is not, because the entire tree depends on the quality of the seed. Entire tree depends on the quality of the seed. So if the seed is healthy, the tree is healthy. If the seed is not healthy, the tree cannot be healthy. The fruits cannot be healthy. The flowers cannot be beautiful if the seed is not healthy. So that is yoga. Yoga means the seed in connection with every part of the tree. It's the seed, right, which is connected to every part, which means the seed is creating every part of the tree. That's the connection. Connection means it's the creator. It's the creator. The seed is creating every fruit on the tree, every flower, every leaf, every branch, every trunk is getting created from that little seed. That seed which is invisible. Imagine, huge tree is visible. Seed is not visible. The seed is not visible. The entire tree is visible. And everybody keeps appreciating the flowers, the fruits. Nobody says, wow, what a healthy seed. Nobody talks about the seed ever. Nobody says, everybody keeps appreciating all the flowers and the fruits because the seed is not visible. But the seed is the creator of that entire tree. So where is that seed? That seed is the soul. Not visible. It's not visible. Nobody comes and looks at you and say, wow, what a beautiful soul. They'll say, oh, wow, what a beautiful face. So they're only going to talk about what's visible. What's visible. Or what a beautiful dress you're wearing. Oh, wow, what great achievements. Everybody will talk only about the tree which is visible. We'll talk about the seed. But we need to know the seed is going to create the tree. So if you are having any issue on any part of the tree, which means whether it's emotional, whether it's relationship, whether it's any health part of the body, anything at work, don't try and heal the tree. Don't try and restore it at the level of the tree. Don't go up to the flower and say, okay, let me make this flower beautiful. How do I do it? It doesn't work that way. It can't happen there only. It can't happen there, and that is yoga. That is yoga. Go to the seed. Go to the seed. Nurture the seed. Nourish the seed. And within a few days, you'll see the quality of the flowers has changed. Everything. I mean, experiment with the plant at home. If the flowers are drooping, if the leaves are drying, you don't go and rectify each one of them. Just go and nourish the roots, the seed. That's it. And suddenly you'll see the quality of the plant has changed. So that is yoga here. So using the power of affirmation plus power of visualization. Using the power of affirmation plus visualization to create an experience which then starts becoming a reality. A reality. So just simple, we can do it right now. Just sit back, withdrawing your attention from the entire tree and focusing it on the seed. On the seed. Coming to the center of the forehead and gently visualize a tiny point of light in the center of the forehead where we apply the tilak, the bindi, or which is called the third eye of wisdom. That's actually the seed. So visualize tiny point of light energy there. And while you're seeing yourself, start creating the vibration. I am a divine soul. Contented, master of my mind, master of my sense organs, master of my life. I am the creator. I am a powerful soul. I choose, I create, I manifest. I am the creator of my body. I am the creator of my relationships. I am the creator of my work. And I am the creator of my world. The state of the seed creating the tree. Now let me just detach and check. Is there anything unhealthy in the seed? Any energy? Any thoughts and feelings which appear so real, but they're unhealthy? And they're radiating to the entire tree of my life. Let me take this moment and being the master of my mind, I release, I delete, I clean that unhealthy energy from the seed. I am the one who holds on to it, and I am the one who releases it. Understanding well that this energy doesn't remain only in the seed, it vibrates to the entire tree. Who I am, what I think and feel, the words I speak, the vocabulary I use, every word I speak. Let it be a vocabulary of purity, because every word is an energy. Nurturing the entire tree. And every karma I do doesn't matter what other people around me doing. They are the creators of their tree. They do not influence the fruits, the flowers, and the leaves I create. They cannot influence. But how I think about them influences my life. So today, I carefully choose and delete all that is unhealthy. Om Shanti. Shanti.
Thank you so much, Didi. That was beautiful.
Shanti.
Yogesh, I would request you to open the chat window for everyone so that they can start sharing their questions. Meanwhile, Didi, I have one question for you. While you were talking about the vibrational energy, what happens quite often is that we get into a spiral of this low vibrational energy where we know we are in it. But there are two things. One is coming out of it, and the other is identifying it. Because sometimes I feel by the time you identify, you're really deep into it. So, is there anything that we can do to start identifying that, the moment we are getting into that low energy vibration zone, so to say?
Uh, let's look at it at a physical level. Sometimes when we enter into someone's room or someone's cabin and we say, oh, I don't like the odor over here. What is it over here? What's stinking over here? And they'll say, no, it's fine. What's wrong over here? Because they can't make out also that they are sitting in a room or in a cabin where the odor is not very beautiful. It's very, because once you are sitting there for a long time, it becomes your comfort zone. It becomes your comfort zone. So you don't even come to know that you're not sitting in the right vibrational energy, whether in a room or whether in your mind. So what happens is if we have been living in that vibration for a very long time, even though we know that this is not the best of energy, it's just that because we've been living in it, we get just used to being over there and we feel this is only what is life. We don't know another way of living because we haven't probably experienced it for the last few days or few months or few years. So important is to be able, it's like even physically, if some part of your body is aching, you can live your life with that ache and pain. And you'll think it's okay now, thoda sa dard hai, how does it matter? I can manage my life. So we kind of adapt ourselves to aches and pains, whether of the body or whether of the mind. So very important is that every day I should raise my vibration because I won't even know where I am. So it's a very risky thing. I don't know where I am. So today, if I had to rank myself on, let's say, 1 to 10, I won't even know where I am. I don't know. I don't know whether I'm at 1 or 2 or 5 or 9. I don't know. So the safest thing is to just do something so that you raise yourself every day. That's it. You keep raising yourself every day. So even if I'm at 5, I'll go to 8. If I'm at 8, I'll go to 10. So I just need to keep raising myself every day, which means use some steps in your lifestyle, which is going to energize you, which is going to raise your vibration. Like for the health of the body, we don't know whether we are in the perfect health or we sometimes don't even know what's happening in the body. And suddenly we go for a blood test and the doctor says, oh, and they'll announce some chronic ailment to us. And we thought that we were perfectly fine, but there was something that was going on inside for a very, very long time. And suddenly you come to know that you have something which we hadn't even thought of. And how come I didn't come to know? Because it's just toxins accumulating inside the body. And outwardly, I thought everything was perfect. Same thing happens even in the mind. So the best way is to lead a healthy life every day and every day do something that is taking your body towards health. So similarly, every day do something that is taking your mind towards a higher vibration. So that everyone has to choose for themselves that every day, what are you doing on a daily basis, which is raising your energy? which is raising your energy. So even if I'm in a lower energy, if every day I'm doing something to jump out of it, I will keep moving up. Otherwise, I won't know where I am. Because this is something which nobody even can come and tell you, because nobody knows what's going on in my mind. So you're not going to get any assistance from anybody outside. And on our own, we thought this is what is normal. So just have to keep raising it. So that's why when we say thinkright.me app, when we say yogas, and when we say meditation, these are simple things which we integrate into our life, so that wherever we are, doesn't matter where we are, we're just taking one step up, one step up. So we are very sure that we are here. Our life is in this direction. That's all that we have to take care, that my life is in this direction. Neither does it stop, neither is it going backward. It is moving up gradually and slowly. It's moving up. Then you're going to come out of whatever is going on inside.
Yes. We'll start taking questions, Didi. Binda is asking, what motivates you to follow your routine even if you're not well?
Oh, we need it all the more. If I'm not well, then I need it all the more, right? So if I'm not well means there is some toxin that has got accumulated. Simple. That is the meaning of not well. So sometimes I could not be well in the mind, which means just mera mood nahi aaj karne ka, even that is not well. That is also not well, which means my mood is not enthusiastic the way it should be. So lack of enthusiasm is also not well. And of course, if there's some ache and pain in the body, then also I'm not well. So there is some toxin that has got accumulated in the mind, in the body, there is a toxin. So if there is a toxin accumulated, all the more important that even if I don't do it on other days, but I should definitely do it on the day I'm not well, because I have to clean up that toxin that has got accumulated. It's like if you don't clean your house one of the days, it's okay. But if it is dirty, how can you not clean it on that day? Because that day it's dirty. So that day it has to be cleaned. Even if you didn't clean it on another day, it was fine. So the day I'm not well, my mind and body is dirty. Dirty means there is some toxin accumulated, whether it's an emotional toxin, whether it is some dietary toxin, something has got accumulated. So it's more like a healing. It's more like a healing. Your meditation, yoga is a healing. So we know we need it on the day we are not well. So we have to. That is the day we have to.
I think talking about toxic emotions, Diksha is saying, Om Shanti Didi, I'm afraid and or scared of this one particular person because of some past experience and memories. I'm unable to forget or forgive that person. What do I do?
See, one thing we need to remember is what is the meaning of forgiveness and what do we have to forget? So something has happened in my life. It's an incident, right? It could be one incident or it could be a whole experience of a couple of days, months, or years with that person. So let's total overall call it one incident of my life. It's like one chapter of my life or one page of my life. Life is not like a book from where we can tear off the page. How much ever we might keep saying that in our quotes, but you can't tear off the page. It has got threaded into your series of karmic patterns in your life. It's there and it's recorded here. So when we say we forget, we cannot forget, which means I remember that this thing happened. What is there to forget in that? I know it has happened. I remember it. Therefore, what does it mean to forget? It just means that it should not hurt anymore. If it doesn't hurt anymore, then it's as good as there or not there, it doesn't matter, because it's not troubling my mind anymore. So that's why the word forgive and forget are together. Forgive and forget are together. So it's like a wound on the body. So suppose I injured myself when I was young, the scar is there, but I won't keep looking at it and remembering it, but the scar is there. So the scar is there, but the pain is not there. So if the pain is not there, my mind will not get pulled towards that scar. So that will be called forgiving and forgetting. But if it's a wound which is paining on my hand, then every few minutes I was like, this is hurting, this is hurting. So important is to focus on releasing the pain that we have created about what happened. So that is forgiveness. Forgiveness doesn't mean, okay, I forgive you. We are nobody to forgive other people. If somebody else, let's call that person X right now, if X has done something which was not right, it was their karma for which they have already written a consequence now, which means they have written their destiny now in follow up to the karma that they have done. If I say I forgive them, it does not mean that that consequence will not come in their karmic pattern. That's not true. So they have already written their consequence the day they have created their karma. Now it is about me. I have also created a karma by what and how much I'm thinking about what they have done. And that karma is also creating a consequence, because that is the pain that is radiating to my entire tree. So I have gone and held on to that pain into the seed stage. This is the seed. And the seed has held on to that pain, and that pain is radiating to the entire tree. And that incident could be 2 months old, 2 years old, 20 years old. The seed has held on to that pain. So forgiveness has nothing to do with other people. I don't know from where we created this phrase, which is like, I forgive them. I cannot forgive anybody. I cannot, because there is no concept of forgiving anybody. Concept of forgiveness would have meant, okay, I forgive you, so your karma will not create any result for you because I have forgiven you. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. Their karma and their destiny are going to walk hand in hand. I can only forgive one person, and that is myself. That is myself. And I forgive means I release that pain which I have been creating, which was abusing me and abusing my entire tree. I am releasing that pain, which means today I'm just going to say, okay, it's the end of what happened. It is a past. It's over. From today, I'm going to release the past and focus on now creating a beautiful present. Now, immediately the mind will say, how to release? I don't know how to release that. So then we go and create an affirmation for that, because holding on also is what I did, and releasing is also what I did. So, we don't say, how do I hold on to it? We never say that. How do I hold on to the pain? Nobody asks that question. How do I hold on to pain? But we always say, how do I release the pain? Well, we release the pain just the way we hold on to pain. It's very simple. It's very simple. I only hold on to a glass and I only have to put it down. I only hold on to a thought and I only have to let it go. But it's because we affirm the holding on a lot. They did this, they did that, they should have not done this. This is affirming. This is also an affirmation, repeated affirmation of the holding on. Now we have to do a repeated affirmation of the releasing. Releasing. That I release this person, I let go, I forgive, I forget what has happened in my life. Put 4 or 5 lines into your affirmation, make that your way of thinking, and within a few days, the thought which was holding on will get converted to a thought which is releasing. It's like the same hand either holds or lets it go. It's the same mind either holds or lets it go. So if I can hold on to something, it's tougher than releasing something. Holding on is always tougher than releasing. So if I can hold on, I'm a very powerful soul. So releasing is easier. Releasing is easier. So just write 3-4 lines, do it repeatedly. Don't talk to anybody about that past incident, because repeated talking also creates holding on. I'm sticking that energy, and that incident keeps sticking to that. So that's releasing. And remember, you are not forgiving anybody. Basically, with the whole concept of forgiving them is what becomes difficult, but we don't forgive anybody. We only forgive ourselves. We're only forgiving ourselves. And forgiving, the word itself is only so beautiful. Forgiving. We are forgiving love to ourselves. That's it. So I forgive myself, I release the pain. That's it. And if I forgive and clean myself, that person is also a part of the tree of my life. You see, that person in whatever relationship is sticking on my tree of life. And so when I release the pain from the seed, the energy that was going to that part of the tree on which they are sitting on that branch, that energy automatically changes. Automatically changes. So the karmic relationship vibration will change.
A similar question, but a completely different take. Prachi Avasthi is saying, how do I pull out a loved one of mine from depression and anxiety and make them happy, healthy, loveful, and peaceful again?
Yeah, very beautiful intention. First, you have to identify whether it's depression as an illness, anxiety as an illness, or we're just calling a mood as a depression. If it is an illness, then we need help, which means we need medical help. We need medical help. What happens is, when somebody has an ailment in the body, We don't say, how can I pull them out? We say, oh, we have to go to the doctor. I don't say, how do I pull my family member out of diabetes or out of this or out of whatever else? We say, no, 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 we have to go to the doctor. But when it comes to a mood, when it comes to just people feeling low or a depression, we think this is just a mood, we can help them to come out of it. There's a lot of difference between a mood and an illness. And a mood, easy to bring people out and for people to bring themselves out. An illness, even if they want, they're not able to bring themselves out that time. So we have to just take a consultation to figure out whether it's just a mood or whether it's an illness. And if it's an illness, at what level is that illness? Is it something that I can bring myself out of it? Or is it something that needs a little medication and then there's no harm in taking that medication? But then along with that medication, now working on the mood. But if I need a medicine and I'm not taking the medicine and I'm working only on the mood, it becomes very difficult for the person, because it's like they fractured the foot and we're trying to make them walk. So it actually pains even more. So if they need medicine, please help them to get that. And sometimes the person might not agree to take a medicine. And so that's where the role of family and friends is very important, to take a consultation with the doctor, talk with the patient or without them or whatever. That you have to figure out according to your relationship with the person. So start them on medicine, and along with that, now start on working on their mind. So start with yoga, start with pranayam. It helps to release a lot of the toxins which are accumulated. Change the energy of the house, change what you're talking to them, help them to get into activity, and of course, let them do affirmations, let them do little meditation, let them start consuming positive content. Content is the diet which will create a change. So diet for the mind, like what we've shared always, the diet for the mind is the fundamental thing that we need to take care of. It's a fundamental thing. Again and again, also, if we say it, it's not enough, because the amount of negative content we are consuming, try however hard, we won't be able to pull ourselves out of it unless we bring about a dietary change in our content. We need a very, very major dietary change in our content consumption to be able to change our thoughts, vibration. So when you're consuming content, remember, it goes and stores right in the middle of the seed. Every content that I am consuming is going and getting stored in the seed right here. And that content is radiating to the entire tree, even to your body. So if I'm consuming content, okay, we know all that list of that content. So, like imagine what all is going on right now in the country. If you go on reading it and reading it and reading it and watching it here and seeing it here, we don't even realize that we are starting to absorb hatred into ourselves. Even if you're consuming somebody else's hatred, so I have no hatred, but I'm going on consuming words of hatred. I am going on consuming words of intolerance. I'm going on consuming those words, and those words go and get stored in the seed. And then that seed radiates the energy to the tree, even though I am not that kind of a person at all. So, which means it was not in the seed, but now I have put it into the seed. So, in the name of being informed of what's happening in the world, what's happening in the country, what's happening in the city, what's happening in my office, what's happening in my neighborhood, just in the name of being informed, we put a lot of content into the seed. So, in the name of being informed, in the name of entertainment, we put too much of content in the seed, and that's reflecting in the tree. In the tree, you won't even be able to see a direct connection, but there's a direct connection from the content to the seed to the tree.
See, Mayuri has a very nice question. It's very simple but so important. Gratitude kaise karna chahiye, and why is gratitude so important?
Gratitude कैसे करना चाहिए? अच्छा, किसको gratitude करना है? Gratitude सबको करना चाहिए. Why is gratitude important? First of all, gratitude is important because every time you are creating a word of gratitude, even saying the word shukriya, saying the word thank you, saying the word bless you, just the word, it is the word which is an energy. So it's not just from the word here. The word means the word here, the word that the seed is creating. The mouth is the tree. Please remember, the mouth is not the seed. The mouth is the tree. So if you're just saying a thank you or something, but you're not really creating it here, then it's not in the seed. But creating the gratitude in the seed, which means genuinely saying thank you for everything and everyone around you, allows you to create the highest vibrational energy to the tree. You're suddenly going to feel very nice and you won't even know why. And one day you can experiment with complaining about everything in your life. ये भी ठीक नहीं है, वो भी ठीक नहीं है, मेरी body भी ठीक नहीं है, मेरा सामान भी ठीक नहीं. Just complain about everything, complain about people, complain about everything, and you are radiating a lower vibrational energy. So gratitude and shukrana is something that you can do from the first thought of your morning. So the first thought of the morning can be gratitude to divine. So gratitude to God. Just say it without thinking what is the logic behind it, how will it benefit me. Just start saying it. That's also an affirmation. So gratitude to God is the first thought. Second, gratitude to my mind and body. Anything that you radiate gratitude to, you're actually radiating a higher vibrational energy and you're going to come in harmony with that. So gratitude to your mind and body, gratitude to all the people in your life. You don't have to take names, just in your mind, gratitude to all the people in my life. Gratitude to nature. Very important to create gratitude to all the elements of nature. Gratitude to your work. The work, if you're working, then gratitude to your work, because that's from where the money comes to run your house, to nurture your family. It's a very important aspect of our life. Today, if somebody tells us to complain about our work, we have a whole list. ये ठीक नहीं है, उधर ये ठीक नहीं है, ये लोग ठीक नहीं है, वो लोग ठीक नहीं. This is, we have a whole list we can complain. Gratitude. Some of us lost our job in these last 2 years. Go and ask them what work means. So, gratitude for what I have, and then gratitude for the planet. Just create these few thoughts. Then you can actually have gratitude even for matter. Gratitude for the bed that you slept on. Gratitude if the AC, if you used it. Gratitude for the transport which takes you to your workplace. Oh, there is so much to be grateful about. And every time you're just saying your gratitude in your mind, your thank you to everything, you won't even know why you're feeling so happy today. You won't know why you're feeling happy. Nothing has happened outside to feel something so happy about. It's just that you were radiating higher vibrational energy. And that's why it said gratitude is an attitude. Now, gratitude is an attitude means everything is not going to be perfect, but you're still saying thank you. You're still saying thank you. And some people, everything can be perfect and they'll still say, but why like this? But why like this? So it's only an attitude. It's not about what it is. It's about how I think about what it is. So gratitude is an attitude. Complaining and criticizing is also an attitude, though different energies, two different energies.
We have time for just one more question. It's from Muthu. Om Shanti Shivani ma'am, how to keep positive, how to always keep positive in a negative environment, people and conditions, how to detox after meeting and coming across those people.
You know what? Again, it's like, again, go to the seed. This is your tree. And then this is that seed, the other seed, okay? Please remember, the vibration of the other seed doesn't affect your tree. The vibration of you, the seed, affects your tree. So you can be surrounded by people who have a lower vibrational energy. You can be surrounded. You can be sitting in a family where everyone around you is at a lower energy. You can be working in an office where everyone is at a lower energy. You can be sitting in a train, in a metro, in a flight where everyone is at a lower energy. How does that matter? It's like the perfume they wear. That's their fragrance. You are going to live in your fragrance, in your vibration. So we keep thinking that other people's vibrations affect us a lot. Other people's vibration only affect us if I am at a lower energy. Then other people's energy will affect me, because energy will always flow from higher to lower. So if they are higher than me, it affects me. If I am higher than them, then I influence them. Their lower energy cannot affect me. It cannot affect me. So let's get this out of our mind, that people's lower vibrational energy is affecting me. Let's remember that I create a higher vibrational energy and I radiate that to them. So becoming a radiator of energy not a consumer of energy. We're not consuming people's energy. So don't be a receiver, you're a transmitter. It all depends on which side you put yourself in your mind. If you say, oh, I'm getting everybody's vibrations, then you will keep getting everybody's vibrations. And if first thing in the morning you say, oh, I'm giving my vibrations to everybody, and I'm giving the vibrations of the divine to everybody, then you're a giver that day. So you're deciding in which line you want to stand. You want to stand in the line of being a giver, or you want to stand in the line, oh, I'm getting everybody. If you keep thinking, oh, I'm getting everybody's energy, oh, then you'll keep getting, because it's all just a switch here. It's all a thought. If you tell your mind, I'm getting, the mind will say, okay, get. You tell the mind, we are giving, the mind will say, chalo, give. So the mind is the most obedient, and yet we keep saying, oh, my mind is not in my control. Actually, your mind is doing exactly what you're asking it to do throughout the day. It does exactly what you ask it to do throughout the day. So be very careful what you say to the mind. Be very careful what you say. You tell the mind, I'll never forget this, and the mind will not forget it. And you tell the mind, it's over now, I'm not going to think about it, and the mind will say, okay. So it all depends what you say to your mind, because it's your mind, and your mind will follow what you say to it. So just say, I'm a giver of energy. I'm a radiator of vibrations. I connect to the divine and radiate the highest vibrational energy to everybody, and see how you feel during the day.
Thank you, Didi. Such a wonderful thought, such a lovely session. It's 4 o'clock already. I know we had like a 3 to 4 schedule. Everybody else, I know you've been sharing your questions. We'll try to compile them and share with Didi at some point of time. We'll try to get everybody's answers. Thank you so much for joining us today. Have a lovely weekend. Om Shanti, everybody. Thank you, Didi. Thank you so much.
I would just like to say, if anybody wants to learn meditation now, because COVID is over and we're all back to normal day-to-day routines, we're going out. So if anybody wants to learn meditation, sometimes we try and do meditation at home and we say, I tried, but I couldn't do it because my mind could not concentrate. Because we think that meditation means close your eyes and put your hands like this, cross-legged, and that's it, the magic will happen. It doesn't happen like that. The minute we sit like that, the mind starts thinking even more. So, like other things we learn, meditation is also something to learn. It doesn't just happen on its own. So, for anybody who would like to learn Raj Yoga meditation, wherever you are staying, very close to you, maximum within 3 to 4 kilometers. It won't go beyond 4, that's for sure. Within 3 to 4 kilometers near you, there would be a Brahma Kumari's Raj Yoga meditation center. So, if you feel like learning, just call up the center from the website address or walk into the center and tell them you would like to learn. And the sisters will always be there to teach you for about 4-5 days, an hour every day, at a day and a time which will suit you. Of course, in convenience with what their time and schedule is. But most of the time they will adapt to what time is available for you. And it's one-on-one and there's no cost attached to it. It's free. I mean, nothing can be easier than that. It's really simple. So if you feel like learning, if you want to shift yourself to a higher energy, take that first step to learn that meditation and then start shifting yourself up by connecting yourself to the highest vibration. Thank you so much, and thank you, Jyoti, for everything. Om Shanti. Shukriya. Shukriya.